Welcome to our deep dive today. We're tackling some seriously famous parables from the Gospel of Matthew, the parable of the 10 virgins, and the parable of the talents. We've got excerpts from Matthew 25 right here with us. Ready to unpack? You might think, oh yeah, those Sunday school stories. But trust me, there's way more to them than that. We're going to dig into, I think, some really timeless wisdom they offer about how we approach life, opportunity, and, well, maybe even our relationship with something bigger than ourselves.
These parables are so interesting. Yeah, they're simple, but they've resonated across cultures and centuries. There's a real depth to them that keeps us coming back to them, finding new meaning each time we do.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The parable of the 10 virgins. It's a wedding scene. Everyone's anticipating. The groom is going to arrive any minute, and the bridesmaids are waiting. But there's a twist. 5 are prepared, and 5 aren't. It all comes down to oil for their lamps. And I think a lot of people wonder, what's the big deal about oil?
It's a great question. I mean, it's not just about keeping the lights on, right? The oil symbolizes a state of inner readiness, a spiritual preparedness for the unexpected. It's not about outward appearances. It's about cultivating those inner qualities that can't be borrowed or faked.
That's a really interesting point. So you're saying it's not like cramming for a test at the last minute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. Have you ever felt that pang of regret when a golden opportunity slipped through your fingers because you weren't quite ready? Maybe you hadn't honed the right skills or cultivated the necessary mindset. I think that's running out of oil in a modern sense.
Wow, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, I'm starting to see how this parable goes way beyond a simple wedding story.
Absolutely. It serves as a powerful reminder, I think, that procrastination has consequences, especially when it comes to our inner development. We can't expect to develop wisdom, resilience, or compassion overnight. These qualities require constant nurturing, like tending a garden.
So what you're saying is spiritual growth, or even personal growth for that matter. It's
Yeah.
an ongoing process, not a last-minute scramble.
Precisely. And that brings up a thought-provoking question. For you listening, what in your life requires that kind of consistent attention, that replenishing of your oil, so to speak? What have you been putting off that needs tending to today?
Now that's something to ponder. But before we get too lost in self-reflection, let's move on to the parable of the talents. So we have a master entrusting his servants with different sums of money, talents,
Yeah.
before going on a journey. But we both know this isn't really about finances, right?
Absolutely not. It's an allegory about the potential within each of us, the unique gifts and opportunities we're given. It's a call to action, a challenge to invest our talents wisely and multiply them, not bury them out of fear.
I've always found the contrast between the servants so fascinating. Some take risks, invest boldly,
Yeah.
and see their talents grow. Others, like the one who buries his talent, seem paralyzed by fear. What's going on there psychologically?
That's where this parable gets really interesting. The servant who buries his talent isn't necessarily lazy or malicious. He might be driven by fear of failure, a lack of confidence, or perhaps a deep-seated belief that he's unworthy of the master's trust. It makes you wonder, what talents have we buried in our own lives out of similar fears?
I never thought about it that way before. It adds a whole new layer of complexity to the story.
It really does. And the master's reactions to each servant are so telling. He doesn't just focus on the outcome, the amount of money they return. He praises effort, initiative, the willingness to step outside their comfort zones, even if they make mistakes along the way. But he condemns the inaction, the fear that leads to stagnation. Even a small return is better than none at all.
So it's not about achieving some grand, predetermined outcome. It's about embracing the process, the journey of growth and self-discovery. That's a powerful message for anyone struggling with self-doubt or fear of taking risks.
Absolutely. It really speaks to the human condition, doesn't it? The fear of failure, the tendency to play it safe, the struggle to embrace our full potential.
Yeah, it really does. It makes you think you know what these talents even represent in a modern context. It's not just about money or tangible skills. What are those talents we might be overlooking or undervaluing in ourselves?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Your talent could be your creativity, your problem-solving abilities, your empathy, your leadership skills, even your ability to connect with others on a deep level. These are all valuable resources that can be cultivated and invested.
So don't underestimate yourself, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has something to offer, some way to contribute to the world.
That's the key takeaway. It's about recognizing that potential within yourself and then having the courage to act on it. Take that online course, start that side project, volunteer your time, have that difficult conversation, even small steps